Hey fam, welcome to another episode. Now when I was 16 years old and trying to learn everything I could about the industry, I turned to this magazine. Now the story we're gonna bring you today is on Raymond Roker. He is the publisher, founder, and president of Urb Magazine.
The whole scene had kind of like morphed into like the next generation, the kids that came in 89 to 90 and whatnot. And I had seen all those 80s kind of things disappear, and I said, well, that's a shame what happens to a scene sometimes if it doesn't get proper documentation. It could just evaporate. Now, less so today, but before YouTube and before everybody had a camera, a digital camera, it was a little different. So I said, well, I don't want to see this happen with the underground. So all these parties I'm going to and all this kind of like this progressive nightlife culture that I'm involved in, the burgeoning, what would become the rave scene, I said, okay, well, we got to really cover that. So the blueprint for the magazine was like, underground clubs, which I was going to, hip hop, which I was obviously still into, graffiti, kind of just urban expression. 1990, and I was working at a music retailer, but I was working at the corporate offices downtown, and I was doing graphic design. So I came out of doing graffiti, and I had a friend that came to me one day, and he says, hey, what do you think of starting this magazine on computer graphics? Which now that I think about it was pretty advanced thinking for him, at this point. This is, 17 years ago to be thinking about that, way before Wired and all these other computer mags. I came to him a few days later and said, well, I've been thinking about your idea, but actually, what if we did this? And I kind of proposed Urb, basically, what was to become the magazine. And it wasn't really a selfish vision. It was just, this was what I was into. I thought that it was relevant because I had enough sense to know, coming from graffiti and coming from hip hop and knowing how the kind of underground was working in LA, I knew that it was relevant. I was distributing myself out of the back of my car, like 8,000 copies, just driving up and down Melrose and going off to different record shops and everything. And then my partner quit. He basically, told me on a drive down La Brea one day, and I was with another friend and him, and he goes, I don't really think I can continue to do this. I want to do something else. And he got married, and he got married young, and he just said, this is your dream, it's your passion, go for it, And I was like, wow. So to have gotten to this point and to still be independent, even though we've had our ups and downs, and it's a tough market out there, I did what I came to do, which was to basically give credence, give real credibility, give authenticity, give a real platform, and illustrate the beauty of the underground scene, which is not so underground anymore, but to give it real beauty.